Good morning and welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I am Razzle11 and you can find me on Twitter at Razzle11Grinds. You can take a look at some pitching for today, the 16th of July, Sunday, the 10-game main slate, as I believe the Dodgers Mets will stay on the main slate. Their time was moved back due to weather. So let's just take a look. Weather-wise, to mention the Mets game being pushed back, it should be fine. Delay risk in St. Louis, Baltimore, some weather in Philly, slight PPD risk, pretty large delay risk in Philly. So we're going to want to pay attention to the timing of all that. Pretty warm temperatures, a lot of wind blowing out, moderate winds like 8 to 12 miles an hour. Nothing too crazy. So let's jump in. Right at the top, Zach Eflin, going to probably be one of the most popular pitchers today against the Royals team that struggles. Eflin is a minus 220 favorite in this one. His road numbers have not been great. Was not spectacular against the Royals the first time, but still put up 20 DK points. His underlying numbers to that performance weren't that great, but I still got it done. Is going to give up some runs at this point. 2 runs in 4 of his last 5 starts. But the matchup is just perfect for us. Definitely no complaints with F1 being probably the most popular. Obviously, we have to dig in a little bit more, but Justin Steele, guy that I always play, will always play. Strikeout numbers are lower at home, which I don't quite understand. Because I feel like, unless he's pitching a lot of times when the wind's blowing in so far this year, I don't know that I want to allow more contact when I'm pitching in Wrigley with the way the weather has hurt pitchers in the past. But looking quick, it is blowing out to right in Wrigley at 10 miles an hour. I love using Steele. The fact that he's left-handed helps against this Boston squad. I think he's going to be pretty low owned overall, but I do want to get some exposure to him, and he will be in my pool. He's a minus 145 favorite in this game. Zach Wheeler has not had a great season. Strikeouts are there. Walks are higher at home. Another issue. Hasn't been sharp the last few starts. The break probably helps him out quite a bit. Tough opponent. Weather is a worry. We're going to need to learn. So right now I'm going to leave Zach Wheeler out of my initial pool until we get timing on the Philadelphia weather. He is a minus 160 favorite, so solid favorite in this game. So if we get it all clear or they plan on delaying the start, which should then clear up the entire game, then I think Wheeler is going to end up back in my pool, but we're going to wait on that. No interest in Scherzer against the Dodgers. No interest in Bibby against the Rangers. Hasn't been as good on the road. And I'm not really attacking the Rangers with mediocre pitchers. Bibby's probably better than mediocre, but he's still young, obviously a rookie. Performances are all over the place, a lot of walks. That's worrisome against a potent offense like Texas, especially when they're at home. Dylan Cease, super volatile, but a ton of K upside. Atlanta, obviously super dangerous. I don't mind using some Cease to be a little bit different because I believe his K upside can kind of make up for if he gives up a couple home runs. The big thing is, can he keep the walks down to avoid, multiple 2-run home runs or something? I think right now I'd look at him as more of a 10 to 15% play in my MME, but I guess there's always a possibility where I remove him, but I just know what his upside is, and there are Ks in the Atlanta lineup. Like, that is certainly possible, so it interests me. Bobby Miller against the Mets, not going to be too interested here. He is a slight underdog. But I guess I would rather take Miller against the Mets than Scherzer against the Dodgers in that game. I just don't think I'm going to Miller. Kyle Bradish, uh, huge fan. Uh, 20 plus DK points in four straight starts and five of his last six. Throwing the ball really well. There is some K upside. Um, the Marlins hurt us yesterday with Gibson, but I am willing to go back to Bradish here. A minus 160 favorite in this game, so very much interested. Josiah Gray coming off an All-Star appearance, struggled against the Cardinals earlier this year, but has been far better on the road. Um, I have some interest, but there is obviously some weather issues, and it's really, really hot in the Midwest. St. Louis being a minus 190 favorite probably pushes Gray out of my pool, but he's somebody that I at least considered, but I just don't know that we're going to get there. No thanks to Johnny Cueto. Uh, Kikuchi at home, far better numbers. Hasn't looked great his last couple starts, but prior to that looked phenomenal, actually. There's some upside here, but this is a dangerous matchup. I'm a D-backs fan from a DFS perspective, but they have struggled of late. Toronto is a minus 165 favorite. The game total is 9.5. I would put Kikuchi like on the maybe line, leaning towards out for me. Lugo's been really solid. Weather related worries me. Very good on the road. Phillies lineup pretty dangerous, so I don't think I'm going to get to Lugo either. Definitely not using Lively against the Brewers. I feel like he did just shut them down. Um, but I don't think I can do it. As much as I don't love the Brewers offense, the game total in this game is 11. Cincinnati is a minus 130 favorite, but I don't know that we need to use pitching in that game. Flaherty at 6,900 as a home favorite has looked great in his last two starts. Great in five of his last seven. Uh, he did have a horrendous start against this Washington squad in this stretch, which is obviously worrisome. Washington doesn't strike out a ton, but Flaherty hasn't been racking up strikeouts either. So if he's able to, I don't know, control the contact a little bit, I actually like him a lot at 6,900, uh, which is weird to say because much of the first half I was very much against Flaherty. I kind of did a little 180. I ended up taking a ton of him in midseason best ball, but that was mostly because he was a last, 1 or 2 round pick, and I think he was worth the flyer at that point. But I am interested. Game total is 9, but he is a massive 190 home favorite here. Has not been as good at home, so there's a worry. But I think we're just gonna have to bite the bullet here. He's gonna stay in my player pool. I don't see myself pulling him out of the pool unless something massive would change things. Tommy Henry, as much as Toronto struggles against left-handed pitching, and the fact that Henry has looked solid, I'm just not going there in this matchup. Much rather play Flaherty, and I'd actually rather play Colby Allard against this White Sox team that has a lot of swing and miss. Um, we saw Strider rack up strikeouts, even though he allowed 5 hits on 2 strike pitches, which was insane. I was watching the game last night. Uh, Allard was great against Minnesota, not so great against Cleveland. Relief against Tampa Bay, I think. I think he came in relief, or did he come over? I'd have to dig into that one a little bit, but um, yeah, I like the matchup, and Atlanta's a minus 178 favorite here. Even against Cease with Allard pitching, they're still a minus 178 favorite. I have to like Allard a little bit. Uh, Going down a little bit, I don't really see anybody else. We've used Hauser before, but like I said, this game has a 13 or 11 total in Cincinnati. Hauser's been steady, and Cincinnati is striking out and struggling right now, but Hauser doesn't offer a ton of K upside, so I'm probably not going to get there. I think people will put him in because he's cheap, so they can get, you know, bigger name bats. But I think that's flawed thinking overall. Some slates it makes sense, but yeah, Martin Perez, probably a little better version of Adrian Hauser, but he takes on a Cleveland squad that just doesn't strike out a whole lot. So uh, I'm not seeing myself going down super cheap. Some Allard, some Flaherty, Bradish for sure. Maybe Dylan Cease a little bit. Wheeler if the weather clears up. Steele and Eflin. You're looking at my pool. I generally like to go with 8 guys on main slates. So there we have it. There's that first look at pitching for today. If you enjoy what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on to get that alert anytime we drop videos here at DFS Army. And if you want to join us, I will put links in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ, it's RAZ, for 10% off monthly. And as always, best of luck, everybody.